Hello, good day and welcome to our first and definitely last Sumo tournament, coming at you today, sponsored by Walnuts. Eat fresh, eat walnuts. Also say hello to our camera girl Kaide, so if anything ever goes wrong with the camera, you can send an angry email to Kaide, who is... What do you mean, Kaide? This was your idea, Kaide. If you can't do the job, then I'm gonna say hello to our camera girl Shizuka behind the camera, who is going to make sure that you're gonna see the action right when it happens. And we're gonna go right to the tournament grounds right here, where you can see that all of our contestants are already lined up. Starting off in the orange, we have a team that, according to Google Translate, is called Impromptu Set in the Yachiyo Institutions, and they're already looking raring to go. Next up, next to them, we have, of course, the good old team Mikazuki, ready to go just as well, and next to them, not looking quite as fit this time, we've got the Magia Holy Quintet, although they're down to member who is currently out getting some cheese. And what is that? Alina has already vandalized her own team's banner? I guess there's nothing else to do about this other than just have someone escort Alina off the premises. Off you go, back to Karin, where you belong, and no longer part of this tournament. Already a big blow to Team Orange. This is already the second day of this tournament, meaning that we've already had a whole bunch of matches behind us, and as we are doing right now, there's only 2 decider matches left on who of the remaining people will make it into the final tournament bout. However, Alina was one of the contestants within those 2 decider matches, meaning that her enemy, Shizuka, she's already going to make it into the final tournament bout. However, there's still one decider match on who will be able to make it into the final tournament bout. Taking a look at the tournament bout overview, we can already see the contestants having lined up. We have already lined up a battle of Kyoko versus Yuna. We have Shizuka versus Ui. We have Fat Yachiyo versus Mifuyu. And we have Homoda versus an opponent that still has to be decided with this next decider match. They will go through round 1, round 2, and round 3. And whoever wins this tournament bout will have to go on and try and wrest the title in the big title bout against an unknown opponent. Who could it be? Once again, this is the Sumo tournament sponsored by Walnuts. Eat fresh, eat walnuts. But before we're able to get all these matches underway, of course, I once again have to introduce the adjudicators for the tournament. We have, as one adjudicator, we have Homoda, making sure that everyone is playing fair, as well as a copy of Johann Wolfgang Goethe's Faust, making sure that everyone is staying fair, staying true to the rules, as well as, of course, Madoka Senpai being the referee. The first match of the day will be the decider that I've talked about, and it will be between Felicia-chan and Tsuruno. Now, as you might have already known, the grand prize for winning this tournament will be a grand buffet ticket for 1 week free buffets every day. And of course, knowing all of this, it's no wonder that Felicia was already immediately raring to go to join this tournament. And opposite of her, she'll have to fight Tsuruno, who is still the only person in this entire tournament to know that the buffet tickets are all for buffets in Banbanzai. Also, once again, another crazy shout out once again to the 4 household objects, making sure that the arena is being held in place too much and it's not wobbling around too much and making their way off the table. Before the introduction being completed, we will reiterate the rules. A person has lost if they fall over or fall out of the ring. If 2 people fall over, then if we can decide which of them fell over first, that person will lose. Otherwise, if we cannot decide which of the 2 people fell over, it will be a draw, and in total it will be a best out of 3. With everything set, let's get going. Our first match of the day, Felicia versus Tsuruno. Let's get right into it. And Felicia has gone down after what an amazing offensive by Felicia, first tapping Felicia very lightly at the start, not immediately in close range, but more so with her eyes locking onto Felicia, which makes her fall over just afterwards. Also, once again, another shout out to our camera girl Shizuka, who has just informed me of a better way of filming this entire stage, making sure that you won't miss even just a second of the action. Next up, since Tsuruno is 1-0, this might be the deciding match between Felicia and Soleno, which of the 2 is going to be able to make it into the tournament bout. Let's go with round 2, Felicia versus Soleno. And Tsuruno goes down immediately. Felicia was just standing around in the middle of nowhere, just spinning around in a circle, and Tsuruno just goes down, not even able to fight her friend. With that, you might be wondering to yourself, is Raz even able to make proper sumo callouts? No, that's why I'm not going to even try. I'm just going to talk about random stuff the entire time. It is now time for the deciding match. Which of the two is going to make it into the tournament bout? They're both one up. And the match begins right now. Both strong in the offense, but no, Felicia falls down first. Tsuruno able to keep her strength, keep it all the way on there, standing around, not falling over. And Felicia, her head, I think, is just way too large. Maybe she should have had a smaller head that day, and she's out, and Tsuruno moves on into the title bout, which means we will have to update our grand title turnabout bout overview. With this, the standing and the Kamisumo sponsored by Walnuts, Eat Fresh, Eat Walnuts tournament are now ready, and we'll see that Tsuruno has moved on into the title bout. We'll face off against Homura, but first we're going to start on the very opposite end of the tournament with Kyoko versus Yuna. They both have one horn in some place or another, but which of them has the horniest horn? I'm sorry for... I shouldn't have said that. I am sorry. Now earlier you of course have probably heard me talk about all of these different teams, and while all of the contestants compete for themselves, whichever team the winning competitor belongs to, that team will also win extra buffet tickets for every single person on that team. At least one ticket per person, plus of course the winner receiving one every day for an entire week. So if, for example, Tsuruno were to win the entire tournament, then every single other member of Team Mikazuki, including Felicia, would still get at least one ticket. However, Tsuruno is still the only one who knows that these are all Banbansai tickets, meaning that maybe winning is not actually that important. Our next bout is already set up, and I know I've already heard people talking about this. Why isn't regular Madoka Senpai not allowed to enter the tournament? Well, that is because she has been banned from the tournament for illegal use of shadow double clones, because she's already the main referee, and of course if you're the referee, you're not allowed to also take part in the tournament. And now some people have also said, but then why is Homura able to be an adjudicator in the stage as well, next to the stage? And that is of course because this Homura is a very different Homura. She's not actually a shadow clone of the other Homura. There are very important differences about this that of course all the viewers out there are already very well aware of, so I don't need to go into the details. And with that, it is time to start our first bout. It is Kyoko versus Yuna, the horn versus the horn. Let's get going with round number 1. Oh my god, they both wobble around in place, not even moving, not even wanting to give just one inch to their opponent, but suddenly Kyoko just falls over and just can't do it anymore. The first round goes to Yuna. Round 2 is about to begin, and what is that? Kyoko is using a special technique of turning her back to the opponent before beginning. Could this be the special way to victory in round 2? Both not even able to move, and no, Kyoko is not able to use the special technique to victory. Turns out that being flashy and trying special techniques when you're trying to win a tournament might not be the way to go, and just trying to be strong instead and using the most powerful strategy you have, maybe that's just the better way of trying to win a tournament. And Yuna takes the round and takes the victory over Kyoko. Now, as we set up for the next part of the tournament, originally, Hikaru was also sent an invitation to take part in the tournament, but she declined, saying, and I quote, "Nay." Oi versus Shizuka is set up. It's time to see who can do it. Both are very wholesome, very cute, just trying to do the right thing, but one of them has more character depth than the other. At least that's how the saying goes. But which of them will actually be able to prevail in this tournament? It is time to start round 1. Strong movements immediately from both characters, but Ui falls over just slightly before Shizuka does. We can already see that these two characters very light on their feet, very much jumping around, very much so. But Ui does go down first, and Shizuka takes round 1. Moving on to round 2. What is that? Why? Iroha is so close to the stage. You can't be there, Iroha. I know you're trying to cheer on your little sister, but you can't be that close. Can someone get her out of there? Okay, thank you very much. Someone has made sure to get Iroha away from there. You know, you can't stand there, Iroha. It's too close. Anyway, moving on with round 2 of Ui versus Shizuka, let's keep going and see which of the two is more wholesome than the other. Oh my god, both of them once again jumping around really hard immediately. Ui falls over, Shizuka falls over, but once again Ui is the first one to fall down. You can already see that Shizuka, she's won this battle, but will she be able to keep winning in the next stage as well? When she has to go up against Yuna? It doesn't look good, but for now at least she can count herself a victory. As for our next round, we have Fat Yachio versus Mifuyu, both from the same team somehow, because there's two Yachios. They're not shadow clones because otherwise they would have been banned. But yeah, just don't ask people, okay? It's just the way it is. Now, of course, as many people know, Yachio was almost banned from entering this tournament because she recently got into trouble with the police for, I guess, adopting more kids. The details are a bit hazy. But at least she was able to enter this tournament before entering jail, so she is here right now in her fat form, able to take on her ex Mifuyu. Since we are now ready set up, let's go into round 1 of Fatio versus Mifuyu. And Mifuyu goes down almost immediately while Fatio just shuffles around to the side a little bit. Could this be the mental warfare between these two people that know each other so well? Well, round 1 does go to Fatio. I'm gonna be honest, folks, I don't have that high hopes for Mifuyu. It seems like she's already meeting her match right here in the first round of the tournament bout. Could she be able to still eke out a victory against Fatio, the Yachungus? Let's find out in round 2. Let's go. Once again, strong movement from both characters. Fatio, you moving quite a lot more than last round. But even though Fatio is moving so much more than last round, Mifuyu still just can't do it and falls over in the end. This match goes to the Fatio, who is going to make it to the next round of the tournament. For our next match, we have Tsuruno, who just qualified, versus Homura, who has really strong braids to keep her standing around longer than any other character. Of course, she entered this tournament to prove her love to Madoka, but will that be able to actually win against opponents, especially when Madoka-senpai not actually part of the tournament? She's actually a referee and shadow cloned herself into getting banned, so, well, what does that even mean to Homura? Will she still be able to eke out a victory? Let's go, it's round number 1, it's time. We start right here and Homura falls over immediately. What is that? What? I've never seen something like this. With just the slightest tap, Homura just falls over immediately while Tsuruno is looking just as ganky as she always is. And now it's time to start round 2. We're going right into the battle with the round 2 between Tsuruno and Homura, and Tsuruno falls over this time. Homura this time was able to not fall over immediately, which means the match went on for longer, and it seems like in a longer fight, Tsuruno just can't quite handle the heat. It's now 1-1. Whoever wins this will be able to move on to the next stage. It is now time for round 3 to start between Tsuruno and Homura. And once again, Homura goes down almost immediately. But what is that? The copy of Faust has come in and said that there might have been some foul play. Well, we're gonna have to watch the replay very closely this time and see if the concerns from Johann Wolfgang Goethe's Faust are actually well founded. And it seems like the other adjudicator, Homura, has also come in to say a word about this, and she believes that her other more puny form, as she calls it, I'm not sure what that is about, has indeed lost the battle fairly, and we're gonna have to trust her decision on this. So yes, the more puny Homura has actually lost this battle. Her words, not mine. So yeah, it does seem like Tsuruno will be able to move on to the next match. Since we are now roughly at the halfway point of this tournament, it is now time for the halfway time celebration. In this halftime celebration, we're of course once again honoring our traditions, and as part of tradition, we are of course shoving Mitama down a hole for all the terrible things that she's done to our magical girls in this city. But then we're also fishing her back out again because, well, she's Mitama, so we can't be mad about her. Also, she's done plenty of good things to magical girls as well, so I guess she gets a pass this time. And of course, this concludes our celebration of our traditions, and with all the traditions being sated, we can move on past the halftime show to the next bout. Taking a quick look at our overview, it seems like the next battle will be between Shizuka and Yuna, and then we'll have a battle between Tsuruno and Fat Yachio. Let's get right in there, between Shizuka and Yuna first. Shizuka, of course, is in this tournament because she wants to donate all of the buffets to all of Japan. We're not quite sure how that logistically will actually work out, but we can't really say no to Shizuka, so we're just gonna hope that she doesn't win because we have no idea what to do if she actually does win. He's going up against Yuna, who actually originally wanted to join this tournament to kill people, but she only later found out that in this tournament people don't actually die, but by that time she's already signed up and it was too late to go back, so I guess she's still around just to beat people on the head. The two of them have entered the ring and it's now time for round 1 of Shizuka versus Yuna. Yuna this time showing her angry side. Both of them not wanting to give an inch, slightly turning around, none of them still yet falling over. It's increasing, the strength is increasing, and then Shizuka does fall over first, not able to handle the pressure. Both of these characters showing remarkable strength in this round. That is quite amazing. Will they be able to keep up this power going into the next round as well? It is now time for round 2 of Shizuka versus Yuna, with Yuna being 1 point up. We start, as we always do, and we increase the intensity. Both of them still not wanting to give an inch. Very powerful leaders right here. Yuna getting close to the edge, and they both fall over basically at the same time. Could this be the first draw of this entire match? And I think it will be. This will be the first draw of this entire, not just this match, but maybe the entire tournament, and might be the only draw of the entire tournament. Well, we'll just have to see, but for now, their score doesn't change. Well, no matter which of the two will emerge victorious from this, we have already shown that both of these are absolute top-notch contestants. It didn't quite look like this from Shizuka, since you always seem to fall over really early in the match before this, but now she's at least trying way harder than she ever did before. Could this be the secret latent strength of the Tokime? Well, round 2 is once again starting because the draw doesn't actually change anything, and we start right away. Once again, both not wanting to actually fall over, give an inch. Oh, strong movement from both characters, but Shizuka once again just barely falls over first. Yuna takes a lot of damage, but is able to take all of that damage and just take it and doesn't fall over. And Shizuka, well, she's kissed the ground. She's gonna have to be scraped up by someone, and her dreams have ended. Moving on to our next round, and what is that? Yachiyo has gone on a diet between rounds? Is that really the way you want to go, Yachiyo? You were doing so well as being fat, but I guess you didn't want to win while being fat, because if you win, there's gonna be some press, there's gonna be some photos. Maybe she didn't want to have photos of her being fat end up in the newspaper, and that's why she decided to go on a diet. But is this really the time to go on a diet right now before your match with Soleno? Well, it's too late now. Unless she finds a career right fast, she will have to fight right now in this form. So Fatio, who's no longer fat and is actually just Chad, will have to go on against Soleno, who's still as Genki as ever, and even if she falls over 3 times in a row now, I guess she will still be laughing just as hard as she is right now. It's almost like her face is frozen in time. Well, match 1 starts right now. Round 1 between Fatio, not really Fatio anymore, and Soleno. And, oh my god, both go down, but Yachiyo does go down first. I wasn't even able to commentate the battle because it was over so fast in the blink of an eye. How do sumo commentators do that when battles are over this fast? Well, Yachiyo goes down first. Maybe she shouldn't have fasted and dieted just before this battle, but well, she has another round to prove herself. It is now round 2 in the match between no longer fat Yachiyo versus Soleno, who will be able to emerge victorious with Soleno being 1 point up. Oh, this time a way longer battle, strong offense from both. Soleno moving around really far and does end up going down. What is this? Yachiyo also moved around way further than she usually does, so big movement from both characters, but Soleno just does go down first. It could have been either of them. It is now time for the final match. It's match 3, no longer fat Yachiyo versus Soleno Genki. Strong defense this time. Oh, almost both of them go down almost at the same time. We need to have a split-second decision here. Homura is using her time powers to go back in time and take a look at that in slow motion replay. And as it does look like Yachiyo does seem to go down first. So this match will go to Yachiyo. Better luck next time, Tsuruno, but it's over. Now, if we once again look at our overview, we can see that Soleno, she's beaten Homura, she's beaten no longer fat Yachiyo. We know over here we've got Shizuka, she lost against Yuna, who also beat Kyoko. So Yuna, she's gone all the way now in round 3. It's going to be Soleno versus Yuna from across the entire board. Whoever wins this will have to go around and try and win the title in the title bout versus the mysterious title holder in the Kami Sumo tournament sponsored by Walnuts. Eat fresh, eat walnuts. It is time for the decider of Yuna versus Soleno. One of them is sponsoring the entire thing without anyone else noticing, and I guess if other people did know, they wouldn't want to have taken part in this tournament, but that's for another time to figure out. And we have Yuna, who just wants to beat people up, and she's going to go into this battle more composed than usual, with her dead-eyed stare, trying to keep calm as much as she can without burning the entire city down. Usually she doesn't like burning stuff down, but she's taken some cues from Judy, and it isn't doing well to her. It is now time for the first part of this battle. It's Soleno versus Yuna. So let's start. Oh, barely any movement. Both two rocks in the middle of nothing. And then both of them fall over at once. Could this have been actually some influence from outside? We're gonna have to get the instant replay in here. And once again, we have Faust, a copy of Faust coming in and saying that yes, indeed, this was being influenced by the host itself, blowing a bit too much wind on this entire battle and blowing both of them over. I guess we'll have to repeat this anyway, even if one of them had gone down earlier, so we'll have to do a complete repeat of this entire battle. Once again, the host is very sorry for any interferences that happen with the battle, but rest be assured that the host is always blowing on both of them at the same time, so not one of them is having more of an advantage than the other. That said, let's go right into the battle once again. It's Soleno versus Yuna. And once again, not that much movement from either of these characters. They're both just a rock, not trying to move, but Soleno is not able to keep up the concentration and does fall over first. The first round goes to Yuna, who falls over just right after that. It does seem like Yuna is not quite as invulnerable as we might have thought from before. She has fallen over multiple times now. She just always falls over after her opponent, and that is the key to her winning. Will she be able to, for once, lose a battle by falling over first multiple times to make Soleno win? Well, it's do or die now for Soleno in round 2. So much hopping. Both the characters are hopping around all over the place, but still not falling over until Soleno does fall over first. You really can't blame her. There were a lot of jumps in this battle. It really looked like they were both going to fall over at any moment, just barely hanging on with just the thread. But Soleno does fall over first, and Yuna is able to move on into the secret title bout. In order to get ready for the final battle, we will have to move the stage a tiny bit. But what is that? I can feel something. There is something hiding underneath the stage. Oh my god, it has been the title holder hiding underneath the stage this entire time. It is Ren-chan, who is going to defend her title in the secret title bout. Who could have seen this coming? She wasn't even part of the initial roster, but that was because she was already holding on to the title, and she's here now to defend it against Yuna. Ren-chan, of course, initially entered this tournament last year because she wanted to prove her eternal love to Rika, her girlfriend, and they were already engaged. They were already married even, but Ren-chan, I guess, wanted to prove her love even more and ended up just winning the entire thing. So now she's come back to defend her title against, I don't want to say the evil, but definitely the not quite as well-intentioned Yuna. Of course, this battle will indeed be a best out of 5 instead of a best out of 3, because you can't go wrong getting a best out of 5 in a final match. And with that, it is now time. Who will be able to keep the title of Kami Sumo Champion 2021? Definitely the last champion to ever be crowned, because we will definitely never ever do this again. It's way too much work. I had to cut out so many things, and they're all going to be broken after this. I don't want to do this again. But it's now time for round 1. Let's begin between Yuna and Ren. Oh, strong offense from the champion. Oh, what is that? Yuna falls over really early this time. I guess she just couldn't handle the pressure of standing against a character that is so incredibly gay that she just had to fall over. You know, it would be so much easier for Yuna if Hikaru was here. I guess Hikaru's gonna get a dropping once Yuna's back. So it is now Ren 1 point up. She needs 2 more points to win. but Yuna has all the time in the world to try and come back. It is now time, round 2. Strong defense once again from both characters, not wanting to give an inch, but the rumbling intensifies. It's getting stronger. Ren is moving closer to the edge. Yuna barely moving at all. Ren is getting closer to where the rumbling is originating from, not wanting to give an inch. But she does fall over in the end, not able to keep up all the way. Yuna seems to be almost unbeatable. Could it be the horn? Could it be the horn making the difference? They're now both 1-1. You can kind of see that at this point it's basically like a best out of 3 from 0. So we are going to go into round 3 and seeing which of the two will be able to actually pull ahead for once. Round 3, let's go. Oh my god, strong movement on both of them. They end up both going down. Really strong tremors this time. But Ren is able to hold on just a little bit longer, and Yuna does go down first. It is now tournament point for Ren. Now, what is this? Yuna has gone over to the Adjudicator and is trying to get a change in this battle. Yes, it seems like she's complaining that she's starting on the weak side. Well, we're gonna have to see how Homoda reacts to this. And it does seem like Homoda agrees and does switch the two of them around to the other side. So now Yuna will be standing on the right side and Ren will be staying on the left side. Will that actually be making a difference? And why did Homoda even agree to this? Maybe Homoda knows that by the power of being gay, Ren will win anyway, no matter which side she's standing on. Or maybe Yuna just bribed her. We'll find out. It is now match 4. Once again, this is tournament point for Ren. Will Yuna be able to hang on? Let's find out. Strong movement from both. Ren almost falling over, but barely being able to hold on. Yuna moving closer to the edge. Ren moving closer to the edge. Dramon's getting stronger, and Yuna falls over. That is it, the end. Ren has done it. Ren has won this tournament once again. It's proven herself to Rika, but also kept on to her title. She will once again win another buffet for Banbansai. We don't even know why she still kept trying to defend her title, knowing that she was going to get a buffet from Banbansai. But maybe she wants to donate it to Japan just as well as Shizuka. Probably not, though. For now, though, this was the end. Thank you everyone for hanging out. Thank you everyone for joining me in this. As always, our yearly, probably also our last Kami-Sumo festival from Magia Record. I want to wish you all a very happy April Fools. Once again, this event was sponsored by Walnuts. Eat fresh, eat walnuts. Why would you ever go to Banbansai? Actually, it was sponsored by both Banbansai and Walnuts, but that is something that we don't have to worry about because we just earned all of that fat cash in monies. Yeah, thank you everyone for hanging out, and that was our Magia Record April Fool's special of this year, and see you again hopefully next year.